It's through this lens of this legacy that the incubator was started, along with its mission to develop a robust technology ecosystem on Staten Island's North Shore. This is the first startup program in the borough dedicated to technology innovation. And what began and still thrives as a tactical and business development program for tech startup companies has quickly flourished into a borough-wide resource, staking its claim on innovation, supporting entrepreneurs, small businesses, community members, and students of all ages. It's in furtherance of this commitment to digital equity. The incubator supports learning and awareness of technology while providing opportunities for young adults to learn alongside our startups to solve the problems they see in the world around them. It is my pleasure, to be involved with this program because it focuses on, it involves three critical areas: our local community, our partner corporations, and our students. And I'm honored that this program continues to run. And this year's cohort, which everybody will be hearing from tonight, an interesting cohort. Jeff, I'll let you go more into it. But it varies from safety to mental health to pet treats. I mean, it's really, we really have started something special in the sense that all of the innovation that we are bringing out through this program, through the help of Jeff and Jasmine, and again, our partners who are going to guide our incubators throughout this year. So without further ado, I want to turn it over to Jeff and thank everyone for their time tonight.
Thank you, Rob, for your opening remarks. There we go. Yes, thank you, Rob, for your opening remarks. And, as Rob stated, the incubator is definitely rooted in innovation and, providing resources to the community. We started as an organization, a couple of years ago. I mean, that was before my time, but, I just want to give a shout out to the people who came before us, who, laid the foundation for this program, working on the funding, working with city leadership, working with leadership at the college to bring a program like this to Staten Island. And we're very proud of, what we've been able to accomplish. Very proud to have this as our first cohort. Very proud to have this as our first demo day. And I just want to give a shout out to some of our partners who helped make this possible before we get things started. And also I want to just acknowledge some of the people in the community who have helped also make this program successful. Just give me one moment. So I want to say a thank you to the NYC EDC. I want to say thank you to Time New York, HubSpot, Tech Day, New York Tech Alliance, the Badass Bootcamp, the Staten Island, August Hill, HubSpire, Chet, Primetime VC, Meta Cabinet, the Better Mousetrap, and Blackwell Hollinger and Company. Those are just a few organizations who have helped contribute to the success of the incubator program, whether that is mentorship for our cohort companies, or it's discounted resources for the community, or people or organizations helping us to promote the program and really establish ourselves in New York City. Just want to say a thank you to all the partners. I also want to say thank you to all the cohort companies, right? You guys have taken time out of your busy schedules to be a part of this program, and I've always looked at it as myself and our team being in servitude to you guys. We're here to help make you guys successful. We're here to help provide you guys with opportunity, and just want to say thank you for willing to trust us with your companies. So with that being said, I think we could just jump right into things. And we have our first company going up. And let me just look at the list. The first company we have coming up is actually Innocuous AI. Innocuous AI is a no-code DevOps as a service platform for AI developers. Regina and her team is building really cool software. And Regina, I will give you the floor. Let me give you the spotlight. And you have 3 minutes, and then we'll do 2 minutes of Q&A from the audience.
Great, thank you. Do you see my slides?
Yes.
All right, great. Oops. Okay, hi everyone. I'm Regina, CEO of Innocuous AI. We enhance the productivity of data scientists by providing a no-code DevOps platform for AI developers. Did you know that 87% of AI projects never get to see the light of day in production? Well, meet Joe. He's a data scientist. As a data scientist, Joe is great at building algorithms. But to build an AI product in the cloud, he has to read tons of documentation and spend many months figuring out DevOps work. The solution is Innocuous Book, a cloud platform for AI developers wanting to keep a small AI team so it's more manageable, scalable, and affordable. It is easy to use even without going through lots of documentation. This makes it fast and easy to onboard new data scientists. When Joe uses this platform, he can focus on what he loves, which is creating algorithms. With Innocuous Book, Joe can now bring models to production in minutes rather than months, all without the need for a large and expensive DevOps team to support him. There are multiple revenue opportunities. The main one is a subscription with an upcharge on cloud spend. Others include storage fees and more. Each customer represents $370,000 in annual potential revenue. The US TAM is over 23 billion, and the TAM is over 126 billion if we were to consider the global market. Validating this large market, there are competitors in our space. Our North Star is to keep our platform easy to use, and that's our key differentiator. Few can make something complex easy, and that's what we've done that competitors have been unable to do. Right now, we are in private beta with 4 customers on a free trial, one of whom has expressed an interest in a paid pilot. Customers that have used our platform have confirmed the value we bring to them, which is flexibility, cost and time savings, and ease of use. Our current ICP are well-funded tech startups building AI products in North America with 1 to 4 data scientists on their AI team. Our first 10 million will be from US-based AI startups. We scale to 100 million by expanding to larger enterprises incorporating AI into the products. Our vision is to ultimately become the next AI-based cloud provider. I'm a second-time co-founder with 2 successful exits and over 20 years of business experience. My co-founder has over 10 years of AI experience as a thought leader in the data science space. He has personally lived the problems many times over at several tech startups. That's how he resolved to solve the problems that he and his data science peers faced. We are raising about 2 million in our pre-seed round to build up our team. And thus far, we've raised 25,000 from a VC fund of a prominent angel investor. The MLOps market is large and rapidly growing. The timing is right because many companies are pursuing AI today and need appropriate tooling. Founder market fit exists with our co-founders who have over 10 years of relevant experience. We are Innocuous AI. We help companies drive revenue more quickly with our easy-to-use cloud platform for AI developers like Joe.
Excellent presentation, Regina, and excellent product that you've built. I'm wondering if anyone from the audience has any questions?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
Yeah. So in Innocuous AI, like what's the difference between using Innocuous AI rather than using Azure or Google Cloud or anything like that? Like what makes it different? I know this was a really like 2-minute pitch you had. I'm pretty sure we couldn't get into the details, but like what makes this different from me using any other cloud platform and then using Innocuous AI?
Sure. A number of the cloud providers that provide MLOps tools, their tools are not nearly easy to use. They basically offer them as almost like bare bones tools just to say they have it, but that's not their core business. So they have it there, but it's not really great to use. It's still very difficult to use. And what happens is that the data scientists still have to end up reading a lot of cloud documentation in order to use those tools. So the key thing is that our platform basically extracts away all that difficulty and makes it simple to use. And the ease of use is really key to cutting down the time where data scientists were taking 9 to 24 months just to get models to production. But with this platform, they can do it in 5 minutes.
Okay. And you guys are providing the same thing that they provide, like storage and networking and all that?
Yes, we actually built on top of AWS and Azure, for example. So it's actually integrated. So you can really use any cloud, any framework, any language. So it's super flexible. So it doesn't disrupt the workflow of a regular data scientist. They can work the way they like to work and just spend a lot less time reading documentation and getting the models into production.
Okay, so it's like an intermediate abstraction between the AWS and Innocuous AI. or the developer. So the developer would use Innocuous AI, and that sits between them and the other cloud platforms.
Correct. So instead of going into the configuration screens of AWS and playing around with all those configurations, you can easily do so sort of in click and pull down menus with our software, which is a lot easier to use and more user-friendly.
Got you. Okay. Cool.
Excellent. Great question. Thank you. Would anyone like to ask one more question?
Looks like Joe has a, yeah.
Yes.
Hi, Regina. Great presentation. Thank you. Regina, have you been using a lot of crowdfunding sources and possibly angel investors?
Crowdfunding, no. I've been looking into that. I'm not sure if that's right for us just yet. I definitely am interested in exploring it further. I've spoken to a number of data scientists, since many of them make a pretty good living, to see if they might be interested in participating by way of, testing our product, of getting a strong feel of how well it does, and then putting money into the business through crowdfunding. I'm sorry, what was your second question?
With respect to angel investors, have you actually reached out to a number of angel investors in connection with your business?
I haven't yet started to reach out specifically to angel investors. That I've been reached out to by angel investors to potentially invest in my company. So right now I've been taking inbounds from LinkedIn outreach and things like that people have seen what we've been doing and become interested. So that's how we got launched. When we went through their Founder University program, they reached out to us. And then we have a number of investors from overseas who also reached out to us. So we're kind of doing a friends and family round based on that. But I think I will be doing a more concerted angel investment round soon enough.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your question, Joe. And thank you for your presentation, Regina. And we'll be moving on. Yep. And we'll be moving on to Rudy, founder of Watch the Block. There we go. Watch the Block is a platform that's looking to, bridge the gap in a healthy way between police departments and communities across the country. And with that, with that, Rudy, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Jeff. And thank you everyone for joining this evening. My name is Rudy Racine. As Jeff mentioned, I'm the CEO of Watch the Block. Before I tell you what Watch the Block is, I will first tell you a little bit about the problem that we're looking to solve. So we feel that there's a lack of transparency around police misconduct in communities. And the question that we aim to help solve is, do the police in my neighborhood have great relationships with members of the community? Or is there a pattern of officer misconduct or abuse of power? The topic of law enforcement is incredibly polarizing. It's a polarizing issue, and conversations about satisfaction or lack thereof tend to divide us. And Watch the Block aims to address that head on, to work to build healthier relationships between police precincts and the communities they're tasked with serving. We feel that opinions are often influenced by media headlines and not actual personal interactions. So that's where Watch the Block comes into play. So introducing Watch the Block. It is a mobile application. We actually recently made the list for Fast Company Magazine's World-Changing Ideas for 2022. We are a mobile application that allows users to rate their interaction with a police officer, and the app takes that rating and assigns the rating to the police precinct tasked with policing the area that the user is in. So it's almost like a Yelp, but to rate the police. So again, as I stated, it allows users to rate an interaction with a police officer on the following criteria. Users can rate the officers on courtesy and respect, satisfaction in solving the issue, and professionalism. There's also an option to rate on response time, but that option is optional. And it also allows users to upload photos, video, and include a description of their incident. Currently, police precincts, specifically the NYPD, relies on SurveyMonkey to rate community member satisfaction. And we are aiming to provide them with a new solution to track data and track the customer satisfaction of the community members. As you can see, an image of the app is on the right-hand side. So again, the community satisfaction score, it essentially compiles user ratings and assigns them to the precinct. Nearby precinct pages show a list of precincts within a 15-mile radius of the overall of the user. And you can actually see the ratings for other precincts within your 15-mile radius. to give you an idea of what other precinct ratings are. As you can see, the app also provides you with a profile page for each individual precinct. So it allows users to view the precinct scores and research recent ratings for nearby precincts. This allows options for users that are looking to purchase or rent real estate or properties within a community. And they can assess whether or not they want to move in that area depending on the relationship the precinct has with that community. Our aims: we aim to become the largest data repository of user ratings for police officers in the country. We want to empower communities with data and create opportunities for dialogue between precincts and their local community boards. And we want to spotlight positive police activity and raise awareness to negative officer behaviors and trends. Currently, the application is live. It's available for download today on Google Play and the Apple iTunes Store. It is fully funded by me, and we plan to do a pre-seed family and friends round in 2023. And hopefully by the end of next year, we anticipate opening it up for investors.
Thank you, Rudy. Excellent presentation, and congrats on the Fast Company nod. I didn't know about this. That's huge. And I'd like to say, are there any questions from the crowd?
I have a question. Hi, my name is Shifterr. I'm the, which community you guys, so I have my camera off. I'm the CEO at the Red Eye Media Group. I actually studied criminal justice. Are you going to load data that we already know into the app, or it's only going to be what people put now? If I'm a new user, am I going to see data up there already from my community?
Absolutely, yeah. So if you download it now, if users in your community are using it, you'll see all of their ratings as well. You won't see the name of the user or the name of the officer, but we do collect officer badge numbers, and you'll see the rating or the score for your local precinct.
Cool, okay. I have a similar idea for an app. It was to track kind of individuals' introduction into the criminal justice system through police officers to correctional officers. So I think we have some stuff to talk about. That's dope. Congratulations.
Thank you, Tahira. Does anyone else have any other questions? Dr. Ife Damon would like to put the name of the app in the chat, if you don't mind, Rudy.
Got it. I'll also put the download link.
Okay, great. Excellent presentation, and we will be moving on to the next person. Yes, thank you. Next up, we have Manny from SyenApp. Manny has built a really cool e-commerce platform that can help you get discounts like at every store, everywhere. So Manny, you have the floor, and looking forward to your presentation.
Sure. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so let me share my screen. All right. You guys see my screen?
Yep.
Sure, thank you. Hi, I'm Manish Subramaniam, founder and CEO of SyenApp. SyenApp is the internet's first consumer-controlled shopping platform for everyone. The problem today is that brands and advertising agencies are losing opportunities and identity and trust while chasing consumers like you and me on emails, social media, and web. And this is primarily due to the wrong targeting on these ineffective and disconnected channels. The reality today is that we all now live and shop in a post-pandemic economy where consumers' expectations have changed and the users are asking for more privacy and trust. Let me give you guys a simple example. Open up your mobile browser and then go search for, let's say, pink shoes. That's my daughter's favorite. And then you will start seeing all those ads about pink shoes on all the websites that you go, on your social media feeds, on YouTube and so on, and all that unsolicited marketing and promotional emails and so on, right? And we all know that the marketing and the advertising industry is built on exploiting this consumers' behavior and data, right? And today, most of the Americans feel that their personal information is less secure than it was 5 years ago. And we believe it's time that people must be given a choice to control on who can follow them, and people must be empowered with the right platform so that they can choose and control when, where, and how they can shop. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing our solution, SyenApp, Internet's first consumer control shopping platform for everyone that can bring in communication and content together while it is safe, private, and saves time and money for the consumers. SyenApp is a simple to use private shopping app where you can search, discover, and shop and earn rewards as well. SyenApp is an all-in-one private shopping platform where users like you and me can follow the brands and only allow the brands that we love, and we can search across all emails, deals, coupons, receipts, brands and products and so on, and also lets a user complete their purchase within the app using a browser with no third-party cookies and no trackers. And it also saves them time and money with all that instant rewards and cashback offers. Attraction, we're now an approved publisher for more than 3,000 brands, including Amazon, Macy's, Best Buy, and so on. And our user registrations are growing at 110% month on month, and are with a 70% increase in our monthly active users. The market size, the global mobile commerce opportunity is set to reach $700 billion in the next 3 years, and our target is about 45% of the same. Our team, we are a trusted team of passionate technologists with proven experience and guided by our advisors like Mr. Ish Sundaram, who is an ex-CTO and CIO of JetBlue Airways and JetBlue Technology Ventures. And our team is spread across the US and India right now. We are raising $2 million, part of our seed round. We recently closed our pre-seed round and we have raised close to $450,000. And this round will help us spend money on marketing and growth and help us get our first 1 million users as well as generate $500,000 in revenue. With a greater control and more privacy to the consumers, our platform is going to be the future standard for consumer control permission marketing. And we believe we are in a blue ocean with a unique solution to the global problem. Just imagine businesses subscribing to what the consumer wants. And we welcome everyone to come and join a moment. Thank you.
Thank you, Manny. Excellent presentation, and once again, congrats on all the progress you've been making. Does anyone from the crowd have any questions? No. Okay. So we'll move on. Manny, excellent product. Congrats on everything, and we'll definitely make sure we keep in touch about your fundraising endeavors.
Thank you.
Yes. So next we have Colette with Tap with Libbie. Let me give you the floor, Colette.
All right.
Yep. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Colette Ellis, and I'm the founder of Tap with Libbie. I'm here to speak with you about culturally responsive mental wellness. So women of color are twice as likely to experience depression or hopelessness, but only half as likely to seek treatment. And when we do seek treatment, we're often misunderstood, given that just 16% of US psychologists may share our racial identity. So you might say, try behavioral health apps, which we absolutely do. We found that less than 1% of the 20,000 behavioral health apps currently in the market specifically focus on BIPOC mental health. And that's why we're building Libbie. Libbie is a culturally responsive chatbot and self-care app that's designed to support women of color in all aspects of their mental health and well-being, be that being able to relieve anxiety, stress, or other forms of trauma that may surface from microaggressions in the workplace or other forms of trauma in their personal lives. We have built Libbie to include a chatbot, who is the star of the show, who actually guides users through an evidence-based healing method called Emotional Freedom Technique, or EFT tapping. Basically, users are tapping on acupoints based on the emotions that they share. Libbie tells them what point to tap, what to say while they're tapping, and also guides them through a quick breathing exercise so they can reset their minds and get on with their lives. And we're using this evidence-based method that has been shown to be at least 30% more effective at relieving anxiety than cognitive behavioral therapy. So we launched in January of this year. We've already had user engagement and traction with the app. In initial testing, we knew that 100% of users were using Libbie to relieve anxiety. 70% of them found the chatbot to be easy to use and found the guidance to be helpful. We know we have a large market in which to scale. The global mobile health market is estimated to reach 189 billion by the year 2025. We are targeting those women of color in the US who are between the ages of 25 to 44 and who are comfortable with using mobile apps to support their mental health. Right now, we are launching with a B2C subscription model of $5 per month or $50 per year. We are building Libbie by BIPOC for BIPOC. You'll see a slide in a moment that shares a picture of some of our team members. And we know that Libbie is culturally responsive. We're taking a trauma-informed design to our app. We are personalizing it based on specific emotions that the user shares that then guides them again through that healing process so they can reduce and release the challenging emotion that they are specifically dealing with at that moment. In addition to our B2C model, we also are offering Libbie in workplaces. We actually have had 2 B2B customers that have joined us this year, one being Amazon, the second being Hurdle Health. And we've started with those clients to introduce them to employee wellness program, specifically for DEI leaders, as well as with Hurdle Health. We are working not only with their employees, but also their practitioners and see them as a strong potential partner to reach some of their members, hopefully in 2023. I am a second-time founder. I'm a behavioral health coach who has also worked at Calm, one of the leading mental health startups. As I mentioned, we've had all of our team members be BIPOC, and they are committed to the mission of Libbie Health. We're currently raising a $500,000 pre-seed round so that we can augment our engineering team to be able to launch the mobile version of the app, as well as to enhance our customer acquisition strategy so that we can bring on more consumers, as well as enhance our B2B strategy to get more Libbie in front of more diverse leaders with employers. I hope that you will join us and enable us to continue to be able to provide culturally responsive care that is just a tap away. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Excellent presentation, and congrats on all the progress. What you're doing for women of color and what you're doing in the space of mental wellness is truly amazing, Colette.
Thank
you. And does anyone from the audience have any questions or thoughts on Libbie?
I do. I have another one. So you hit another demographic there with me, the age group, the mental health, all that stuff. I wanted to know what other data or research have you done on that demographic, right? Black women of that age group to fill the app with. Like for me, a person who struggled to find a therapist, why would this app be something that I should think it's good for me?
Absolutely, great question. And what I can say is that, again, we're twice as likely to experience depression or hopelessness, but only half as likely to seek treatment. And not only do we have fewer psychologists or therapists of color, but we also have a reduction or a shortage of therapists given what's been happening due to the pandemic. I will say though that Libbie is not designed to replace coaching or therapy. What we see that is it's a in your pocket, on your phone ability to reach and gain healing, say when your therapist isn't available, right? You wake up with a panic attack in the middle of the night, or you just get off a Zoom call and someone says something ridiculous. And in fact, as we continue to scale, we're actually looking to connect with practitioners and could see Libbie as being something that they would recommend as part of their treatment plans. As I mentioned during the presentation,
gotcha.
Our work with Hurdle Health is educating therapists on the benefits of more mind-body healing methods like tapping and breath work.
Cool, got it. So you guys are basically making it more accessible by just being in that space and adding those tools. Okay, cool. Very good. We definitely need it. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Does anyone else have any questions? Okay, well, if not, Thank you, Colette, for your presentation, and continue doing the great work you're doing. And next up, we have Sarush of Eventcombo. Eventcombo is building an events platform for Web3 in the metaverse.
Hey, what's up, Jeff? How are you?
I'm good. I'm trying to find you in here. There we go.
I'm trying to find myself, man.
Gotcha.
Good stuff. So first of all, Jeff, thank you to you and Camilla for the opportunity. It's been great. Secondly, thanks for the surprise. I was supposed to go up 2 companies later, but I'll still manage. Thanks for the toss there. On with some great other companies. So really, really exciting. Let me get started here because again, I wasn't getting ready to go for another 2 companies, but let's have some fun, shall we? I'm going to share my screen over here, so bear with me. Okay. Is the slide visible?
Yes.
Wonderful. So thank you again, everybody. My name is Sarush Goel, CEO of Eventcombo, and the fact is that the event industry is going through an explosive reset. There is a 20 plus year legacy old guard that is now vulnerable, and you have a $100 billion plus market that's being disrupted. Buyers and sellers, and by buyers and sellers, I mean event organizers and attendees are seeking next experience. A new platform is set to become top of mind as a result of all of this. Enter Eventcombo. We're the only, surprisingly, Web3 next generation in event tech. We're doing a seed plus equity round. We have 99% retention. For every 10 new clients we get, 2 new clients come on board. Last week, we signed on NASDAQ as a client. Why is NASDAQ an Eventcombo client? I would love to answer that. So we're in a good growth position right now. Back to the industry. So the behavioral shift for attendees, for students, for employees, for the market has been happening since COVID, and it's not slowing down. No longer are attendees just interested in in-person experiences, but they're now interested in going all digital, Web 2 virtual, Web 3 metaverse. And the fact is that all of the existing platforms, both young and old, are not satisfying the market as a whole, which is, again, how did we sign on NASDAQ as a client, right? And as a result of that, there's no top of mind Web3 platform, which is where our market breaches. And it's a blue ocean market. Virtual events, in-person events, ticketing, communities, event marketing, metaverse events. You've got all of these fragmented solutions out there. We're a all-in-one Web3 event tech. We're the only one. We're omni-channel turnkey solution. So these are all of our products. All of our products are built out. We have Web3 capabilities. We have event apps. We have registration modules. We service these event types. We have a complete event stack. 99% retention, $1.5 million in ARR this year. That's a gross number. We're the first to go Web3, and we have over 50 clients on the platform. Our sales, we increased sales by 30%, hitting October and now hitting November. We're maintaining that. Our MRR went up 30%. Our ARPA is growing by about 25% on most of our accounts. Our CAC is $500. Our LTV is 10,000. Really nice metrics there. And it's a really large market. Like I said, it's a blue ocean. Our strategy is a top-down approach where we partner with platforms that are not event-centric, but could benefit from the partnership. That's how we're getting behind the enterprise paywall. And some projections for you, traditional hockey stick metrics. We've raised over $1.8 million to date, and we are raising a $1.5 million safe round. We've got about $400,000 of that already committed from existing investors. So we're really looking for another $600,000. And this round is positioned to take us into a Series A round of about $5 to $10 million, which will immediately start raising post-closing this round. This is our capital deployment and milestone plan for Q4 and going into all of 2023. And my background is at JP Morgan Chase, at Pfizer, top-down technologist. Jia, she's our marketing head. She comes from Deloitte. Arbaz is our biz dev lead. Dimitri, who looks very scary, but he's a sweetheart. He's our full stack engineer. And we're the right team with the right idea at the right time. And I am really, really excited to answer your questions. Thank you.
Yes, excellent presentation. And congrats on getting NASDAQ as a client and just all the growth you've been experiencing. So does anyone in the crowd have any questions?
I do. Sarush, how did you get NASDAQ as a client?
A few months ago, and I'm sorry, I don't know who asked that question, but a few months ago, we started going aggressively on SEO, and we started getting really good traction on reviews. So if you Google us, you'll see we're getting extraordinary reviews. We're getting good press. We've been in the press this year. We won an award. So we've been bullish on data and security. And you can imagine NASDAQ is really sensitive when it comes to data and security. So with our alignment in the enterprise messaging, again, on with SEO, if you Google us, you'll see what I'm talking about. We're attracting these brands like Mercedes-Benz. We haven't gotten Mercedes yet. NASDAQ, Saudi Aramco, which is the biggest company in the world. We haven't gotten them either. But NASDAQ, we closed. So we're putting out the right messaging. We know who our target buyers are, and we're tuning all of our language, all of our branding. If you go on our LinkedIn, you'll see our posts. All of that is intentional. Everything's intentional. So we're attracting our target buyers. The industry is no longer sales heavy. We've done that and we didn't succeed. You cannot hire a bunch of salespeople and go to market. In our world, it's really inbound, right? So you have to develop the messaging and the funnels, and if you build it, they will come. And that strategy is obviously working for us. So it took us a while to learn this, but we finally learned it, and we're in our stride right now. So that's how we attracted NASDAQ, and that's how we're attracting these other brands.
Thank you, Sarush. This is Joe Bottega from SBDC. Thank you.
Excellent question, excellent answer. Does anyone else in the crowd have any questions?
Yeah, well, maybe I was lost in your presentation, but what exactly do you do for NASDAQ? What do you supply for them specifically?
So we are an event technology platform. So if you're NASDAQ, or if you're a company, you're doing an event, you're hosting a conference. If you're in the sales LOB, if you're in the marketing LOB, if you're in the community LOB or HR, all of these departments do events, whether they're internal events for employees or they're external events for partners or for vendors and others. You do events. So our technology allows for registration, for custom branding, and allows for attendee management. So I want to send an email to all the attendees, letting them know that the event is going to be rescheduled. You use us. You want to track data, reporting, and analytics. You want to know how many attendees downloaded this document. You use us. So we're an event technology solution for companies like NASDAQ that are doing events that are very data centric. They want to find out what their attendees are doing and how to re-engage them and remarket to them. Did I answer your question?
Yes, you did. Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah.
I have one question myself. I know you're working with large scale enterprise companies, but is there room for your traditional small businesses or early stage startup companies to come and get involved with your platform?
Thank you for that great question, Jeff. I really appreciate that. Absolutely. I mean, NASDAQ I mentioned because it's a great brand, and obviously it is really impressive, right? So I led with that intentionally. But the fact is, Jeff, is we are focused on SMBs. The enterprises have a longer, journey. It takes like anywhere from 1 month to 6 months to sign on a BlackRock or a NASDAQ. But the SMBs and the startups, it's like 3-4 weeks and you can close a contract, right? So we are very supportive and very interested in working with startups and SMBs because our platform is built for small organizations, medium-sized organizations, and very large organizations, right? So the platform is built for all three categories of business. So the answer to that is, Jeff, yes.
Got it. Okay, great. Any last questions from the audience? Oh, okay, great. So we'll be moving on to the next person. Thank you for your presentation and good luck with everything.
Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it. Look at my Batmobile.
I love it. Next up we have Rocky. Rocky, I'm trying to find you in here. Let me type it in.
Not sure if you can hear me, but
Yes, I can hear you. Perfect. Okay, Rocky, the floor is yours. Staten Island native, by the way.
hey everyone, thank you for the opportunity and Sarush, really nice presentation and great, well, nice what you have done with the company. I'll definitely be in touch because we are looking for something similar. So team, not your typical demo compared to the previous team that went, but we're a cybersecurity company heading into the pandemic. Started off small scale, a couple of contracts, and then obviously the world events led to cybersecurity being a big part of small, medium-sized businesses, and then things picked up in that sense quite fast for us. A couple of things that we faced was scaling up and being available and building a global team in a very virtual work setting. Our mission, being a cybersecurity company, we focus a bit on, leveraging the human capital and providing technology to our clients, especially during the pandemic times when, everything was remote and then every company had to adjust a bit. Just go down. So our goal became pretty much the building a robust team internationally. Within 2 years, we opened up offices in Singapore, Sri Lanka, UK. Everything started, like Jeff mentioned, I was literally working out of my basement in Staten Island, and then quit my job 6 months in, and then pretty much scaled the company up. Most of our projects are super confidential and NDAs go into place. So unfortunately, I'm not able to share any of our clients at the moment. And most of the reports we do, we have an ethical hacking team that work with a venture capital firm, everyone from banks to hedge funds, to make sure that we go in and find all the gaps in their infrastructure to make sure that they don't actually get hacked. That's pretty much a summary of everything. And if you like to look us up, I will drop the company URL on the website, and then you can also scan the barcode on the screen and they'll give you some contact details.
Thank you. Can I ask, I know you're doing work in cybersecurity, but what are the services you're providing exactly to customers that is so in demand?
Yes, so we pretty much go into most existing clients on financial and professional service sector that hold sensitive data. We analyze the infrastructure and then tell them, provide them a report on what needs to be addressed from a security gap standpoint, all the way down to any workflow issues that they have internally that could be leaking data or any sensitive information. And we also work with some HIPAA certified companies that pretty much need to make sure that when they do any international businesses, that information that cross different paths are secured and maintained properly. So that's, and then on top of that, Jeff, we have a bit of a set of services that's been very popular lately is pen testing. So most companies are hiring us to, pretend as though we are hackers and then hack them to see how far we can get into their systems.
Gotcha. Excellent. Any questions from the audience? Nope. Okay, I actually have one more question. I'm just curious. I kind of know a bit about your personal journey. What was it like going from, working out of your basement and starting this home-based business to like scaling up and opening up offices in the UK and Singapore? It seems like you expanded very quickly and achieved a lot of success very quickly.
It's funny that you asked. It was a bit challenging, especially figuring out all the local rules and laws that goes into place hiring. I just finalized UK and basically the number of days the UK employees get off, and also the health compared to health insurance, providing health insurance. So everything in between was a bit challenging. But for example, Singapore doesn't let you hire anyone outside of Singapore unless you have a certain number of Singaporeans employed under your company. So those were challenging as we were trying to scale the system up, trying to get certain developers in place, security analysts, and most of them The reason we had to expand into those regions very fast is most of the contracts that I was winning from my previous contacts were more international. And in order to provide services in those countries, you had to be established locally, especially for the type of services that we provide. I would say the biggest challenge was people. People by far, hiring people and the requirements it takes to hire people. I learned very quickly that US is probably the most business friendly country in the world.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Well, congrats on all the success. I know you have to keep things very private with your line of work, but congrats on everything that you're doing, and I wish you continued success in your space.
Thank you, and thank you
Hey,
all.
Jeff.
Yeah.
Jeff, I have a question for Rocky, if I may.
Sure.
Yes.
Rocky, what kind of talent are you challenged with? What are you looking for?
Currently?
Yes.
Well, currently I'm facing a big challenge with the team in Sri Lanka because the country itself is going into a bit of a crisis mode. Their economy is falling apart. I'm sure most of you seen. So I'm in the process of moving the teams to Singapore and building out the UK teams. Given the current, all the challenges that the tech companies are facing right now, all the layoffs you're hearing about it, we're lucky we have the contracts to provide the means that we need, but scaling in some of those regions with everything happening has been very challenging. And Sri Lanka was our second place we opened up shop and hired a lot of resources from there. And currently that's my biggest pain point. So we're looking to fund them with the currency crashing and the inflation at almost 400% in the country. We're funding the Sri Lankan team to make sure that a lot of local talent doesn't leave, because we're having a hard time hiring from Sri Lanka, and also Singapore and UK has been extremely expensive when it comes to security and security engineers and security analysts. So my answer in one sense we've been hiring out of Kansas City, Missouri, couple of senior analysts. So going back to the point, talent and resources have been my toughest challenge so far.
Got it. Jeff, I don't want to derail you. I just want to put it out there that Uruguay is having a conference hosted by the president of Uruguay today, and they are positioning themselves to be a tech center in this hemisphere. And if you'd like to know more about that, I'm happy to connect outside of here and share that.
Yes. I'm sorry, I can't see who's asking the question.
This is,
it's me, Doug, from the New York Tech Alliance.
Okay, nice. I'll be in touch.
Jeff, maybe you could connect us.
Yeah, I will definitely do that. I'll make sure I connect you guys.
Okay, thanks.
Yes. Okay, great. Thank you, Rocky, for your presentation. And next we have Swale. Swale, let me find you in here. Swale is also doing a cybersecurity startup, but a little bit of a different twist. Swale, the floor is yours. Also, I just want to give Swale a plug. Thank you to your partner for coming and doing the how to start an LLC workshop for the local Staten Island community. It was well received, and we're hoping to bring her back. So thank you for that plug, and the floor is yours.
No, for sure. Let me just try to share my screen here. And I'll pass that on to her for sure. Can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
All right. Play from the start. All right, I'm trying to go to full screen mode. Let me know when it's full screen on your end.
Yep, it's full screen.
All right, there we go. So good evening, everybody. My name is Swale. I'm the founder of the iuncta. We are a user-controlled social login. We accelerate onboarding and checkout by simplifying authentication and ethical access to zero-party data. We consider ourselves the privacy-first alternative to login with Facebook or login with Google, which you guys might be more familiar with. And you might ask, why social logins? Well, 90% of apps are downloaded, and over the course of a year, over the course of a week, they're never open again. And then 50% of abandoned carts are due to kind of just so much friction in the onboarding process. And that's because users are getting tired of creating new accounts, and then every time they download an app, they have to create a new account and manage the password associated with it. And as was mentioned earlier, there's a lot of lack of trust and privacy as it relates to the internet today that we experience, right? And all those things add to these huge amount of activation steps that increases the time to value. And on top of that, the platforms that offer some sort of social login, they're doing massive data collections, and they're monitoring how we interact with other applications on the internet, right? So we're being tracked, and that information is what they use to sell to advertisers, right? So for them, it's a monopoly on identity. So what we offer is a passwordless authentication solution, gives users access to their profile data on demand, gives them control, and then increases transparency throughout the process. And that in itself streamlines the onboarding process because you're more confident in your data sharing. We offer an end-to-end authentication solution with the core of our services existing in the cloud, and we manage the relationships between the client and the end user. The client gets an intuitive mobile application that they can kind of house their profile data, as many as possible, and then have access to it easily and seamlessly. For our partners, they get a single module. Like I said, we're passwordless, so the user would enter their username, and then they'll get a notification on their device, and they can either grant access for authentication or deny that, or share their personal data. And because of our multi-factor authentication, we include some biometric technology in there as well. The market for identity and access management is 15 billion, and that grows at an annual growth rate of 14.5%. And then the global app install ad spend is at 118 billion. But we've identified a CAC model that gives us an opportunity to generate $47 billion over the next, as we implement our solution. What differentiates us is the fact that we give users control and transparency over their data, right? And we offer a channel for them to kind of monetize managing that relationship and access to their personal data as well. And that's kind of what sets us apart from everybody else in the space. As it relates to who iuncta is for, any digital user, but we're seeing a lot of traction and activity in regards to those individuals that offer subscription-based model or streaming services. Our SaaS model, our CAC model are two kind of key players or ways that we monetize. We anticipate having 1 billion users by over the next 5 years and being #1 in the social login space. We're asking for our seed round for 2 million, most of it going to product development and marketing. Marketing is led by a good friend of mine, and we worked together in past, but I consider him an expert in the marketing field. And then myself, we lead our team. And the team over at iuncta, we have one motto, and it is value your identity. It's simple, but it's sincere.
Excellent. Excellent presentation. Does anyone in the audience have any questions? No. Well, I have a question. What has traction been like for you thus far?
So it's interesting. So we just signed over the last couple months partnership with both Amazon and the key player in the space, which is Auth0. And we have a joint kind of channel marketing with Auth0 that'll start off hopefully over the next week or so. And it's going to target specifically their clientele. So Auth0 is the leader in, they were just bought by Okta, and they're the leader in consumer identity and access management. And this partnership, because we're now in their marketplace, so this should show a significant increase in our traction at that point.
Interesting. And I'm also just curious. Yeah, I feel like, you know, your product is deeply technical. Yeah. What is R&D like for you guys?
It's interesting because we're trying to pioneer this idea of decentralized identity, giving users control of their identity online. And then with the blockchain at its core is intended to allow for decentralization. But there's issues with the blockchain as it relates to, one, putting identity on the blockchain, but two, how resource intensive it is. So we're trying to find creative ways to accomplish the same thing without having to leverage the blockchain. And so a lot of our R&D is focused on how can we efficiently execute on this idea using the least amount of resources possible.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Well, you know, best of luck. You know, congrats on the Amazon partnership and Auth0. I'm sure most people don't know about Auth0, but I used to do some coding, so I'm familiar with Auth0. That's actually huge that you got that as a partner. And so, good luck. I wish you the best, and we hope to continue supporting you guys.
No, for sure. Thank you very much.
Yes, for sure. And so we're down to our last presenter. We have Tracy. You know, there was maybe 3 people who weren't able to attend today because they were traveling, or maybe they just opted out, not maybe because they opted out of presenting. But Tracy, we have you coming up next. And the floor is yours.
Okay. Okay, thank you, everyone. Okay, so if you traveled lately or you went out to a restaurant, you may have noticed that the service you received in 2019 is not the service you're likely to receive today. Travel has returned to pre-pandemic levels. However, hospitality businesses are still struggling to find talent, resulting in shorter operational hours, longer wait times, and decreased quality of service. Well, why is this? Well, many folks do not believe the industry is stable, and they pivoted to different industries after being furloughed and laid off at the start of the pandemic, amongst other various reasons, of course. So what can we do about it? Introducing Shifterr. Shifterr connects employers in hospitality to local talent looking to fill shifts. We provide a platform for job seekers to find work and companies to fill shifts in hospitality. Companies get a secure, hassle-free way to find talent, saving tons of time and opening opportunities to more revenue. In turn, we give shifters a sense of control as they are able to work when they want, in the roles they want, and at the places they want. A business user utilizing Shifterr will be able to post a shift listing the requirements. They'll receive hits from candidates that match requirements and those that have submitted a bid. They'll have access to the candidate's profile and past shift history, but it will conceal the name and profile picture to promote diversity. Once the candidate is confirmed for the shift, the business user will then receive their full profile, including name and photo. For the job seeker, they'll have the opportunity to create their profile, get trained in a variety of hospitality areas, search for available opportunities, bid on the ones they're interested in, and finally secure the bag. We're currently targeting small to mid-size full service restaurants and front of house workers. This will be your servers, bartenders, bar back runners, cashiers, hosts, etc. Our business model is B2B, focused on a commission model for each shift filled. And we are in the final stages of closing a deal with a New York City bid. We ran our pilot throughout the summer and we're looking at a spring launch. Our app is currently in development. We currently have over 700 job seekers who are actively seeking and open to new opportunities. And we also have our training program that we're excited to turn into an online experience that can reach many. Our go-to-market strategy consists of leveraging the connections that we already have to begin the rollout and then ramping up through paid efforts. Sure, there's Indeed Flex, InstaWork, Jit Joe, but what makes Shifterr unique is that we provide a customized experiences for our businesses and we leverage training and professional development for our shifters. Shifters are also benefits eligible, which is something that no other staffing agency is doing. This directly addresses the fears that job seekers have about the industry and promotes equity in a direct way. So why are we the ones to do this? Well, I'm Tracy Hobbs. I'm the founder and CEO of Shifterr. I have a background in project management working at NBC, CNN, and Yahoo, and I'm also the instructor and curriculum developer for CUNY's customer service microcredential. I'm also a product of the New York City hospitality and leisure industry with over 10 years, and most recently serving as general manager for various venues across the city. Shifterr has the honor of being backed by many great supporters. We're backed by Google for Startups, Tech NYC, Cornell Tech, and Blackstone Launchpad. Thank you for your time today, and we hope that you join us as we shift the way that we all work. Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy. Excellent presentation, and it's great to see that you're making so much progress. Are there any questions for Tracy from the crowd? Okay, no. Well, I have a question. I would like you to just dive a little bit deeper into the training you're providing. I think that's something really unique. Can you talk about the type of training you're providing and how that's really differentiating you from your competition?
Yeah, definitely. The training has been something that we've been focusing on a lot more these past couple of weeks, which is why we were able to get to that deal with the New York City bid that we're working with. It's not finalized. We're in the contracting stage, so I can't say which one it is. But for the most part, our training focuses on training those front of house servers, bartenders, guest services reps, your cashiers on a different tools that they might use, whether it's Toast, Open House, train them on how to interact with customers from various backgrounds. And these are just the skill sets that we've gotten back feedback from the different venues that we work with, and them saying that, we need folks who are skilled in certain things. A server is a very specific job. Not anyone can just put on an apron and go in and say, hey, I'm a server right now. So making sure that we're focusing on making sure that anyone who does decide that they want to become a shifter, that they pass certain qualifications, they have certain skills, and then we're able to place them into these restaurants.
Yes, no, that's great. You're getting some comments in the chat. Janelle, you have your hand raised. Feel free to ask your question.
I do. Thank you so much. I want to say really great presentations from everyone tonight, and specifically for Shifterr. I see a really great opportunity to expand within gig work in totality. Is there any possibility that you would be interested in expanding outside of restaurant shifts?
Yes, actually. So the plan is to do each sector of hospitality just in like different phases and increments. Because we are doing training and all that training is developed in-house, it did become very intensive. So we're focusing on restaurants first because that's where our expertise is. It was easier to get that information to actually build that out. Then moving to hotels, amusements. And we've also been talking a lot more about like project management, administrative assistants, and receptionists as well. I've gotten a ton of comments from just like past employers who are like, hey, do you have any project managers like you? And I'm like, we're not doing that yet. So that's something that we have been talking about, just actually creating trainings and actually finding people interested in these things as well and getting them on the platform.
Thank you.
Yes, excellent question. Daphne, you have your hand raised.
Hi, thank you for your presentation. I think it's a really fantastic idea. I do have one question though. What measures do you have in place, or you think you're going to implement for quality control of the people you intend to train who want to sign up? Because I know hospitality is a tough business. Some people may have the initial motivation to, pick up some shifts and jump in, but as soon as they're faced with some bad customers or just, the grind of working in hospitality, they may, decide to quit and do something else. And so how do you ensure that the money and time and effort you're putting into training people to participate in this community is going to pay off at the end?
Definitely. Thank you for this question. Really good question, because it is very time consuming to actually put these trainings together. So right now we have been doing all the trainings just live. And that specifically has been people who are in hospitality. They may be underemployed, people who I've worked with in the past who may have been furloughed, and then people who are currently studying hospitality in schools. So that's kind of been our main focus right now. Once we get to the point where we're actually able to bring this digitally and online, where it's not that me facing one-to-one and teaching everyone, then that's when we plan to open it up to others who want to join the industry and who want to, just pick up those extra skill sets. And being that it will be online and this will kind of be asynchronous, then that will be up to them to, say, hey, I'm going to go online, I'm going to pass this test, I'm going to get all these certifications in order to be able to start picking up those shifts. So right now, because it is time consuming and we are doing one-to-one, we're making sure that it's referral based, people that I know, people that are in school for it, people who are serious about this.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Any other questions out there? Nope. Okay. So that's it for the presentations. Just once again, I just want to say thank you to all the founders. You guys did such a great job. I think everyone's working on great companies. Everyone is having really good traction, and this is really showing the quality of the program. Just really appreciate you guys and your work, and just being willing to say like, hey, you guys will just give us your time to help, grow your businesses and help push you guys forward. So thank you to everybody here. And I want to say thank you to everyone who joined us on the call. Thank you for being engaging and taking some time to, learn about our founders. And, we're excited to say we're going to be kicking off our fall 2022 cohort. We also have some programs coming up for the spring. We're going to be rolling out a mentoring program that's going to be exclusive to the Staten Island community. So you guys will be hearing about that soon. And just once again, I just can't say thank you enough. This was a great night of presentations. I think we're wrapping up earlier than expected because a few people didn't present. But yeah, so I mean, if there's any other last questions, any questions about the program or what we're building here, feel free to ask. Or if not, we'll wrap up. Any last questions from anybody? No? Okay. Thank you, Lorenzo. And what I'll do is I will email the list of the cohort companies, their websites. We have their decks and maybe like the LinkedIn profiles to everybody who was on the call. So if you guys want to connect with the founders or collaborate with the companies, you'll be free to do so. So thank you, everybody. And
Hey, Jeff, will the recording be available?
Yes, we are recording. We recorded this, and we will be putting it up on YouTube. That might just take a few days, but we will follow up with the audience with the recording.
Awesome, thanks.
Yes, thank you, Doug. All right, so thank you, everybody, and have a great night.
Thank you for hosting, Jeffrey.
Yes, thank you, Daph.
No problem. Bye.